Did you ever get a sense throughout your coaching career, not just in New England, throughout your entire coaching career in New York and Cleveland and everywhere, that people were maybe ownership or above, GM, whatever the case, were listening to like the media, and that could potentially sway some things? Did you ever get that sense?
Yeah, well, 100%, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of times where if you read the Monday papers, that you get the exact same questions from the owner when you meet with him later in the day. It's almost like they read the columns and all, and then whatever is in the paper, then that's kind of the questions. Hey, why didn't you blitz more? Hey, how come we didn't run this play more? Hey, how come we didn't? We went for it on fourth down. Whatever it is, it's whatever the columns are in the paper. A lot of times, that's what pops up in the owners' meetings. But it is what it is. Again, you make the decisions that you feel like are best for the team, and you live with them. Not all of them are right, certainly. You try to learn from the mistakes that you make and be better prepared, or maybe recognize something the next time that situation comes up, how you would handle it differently. But that's, again, that's part of the situation. And look, nobody made more mistakes than I did in New England. You make, hundreds of decisions every day, a couple hundred decisions every day, just in, what you do, what you say, how you do it, and so forth, or the way you structure practice, meetings, plays, everything else. And yeah, they're not all right. And the ones that need to be corrected need to be fixed, and you got to do your part. And so does everybody else in the team, the organization. If everybody improves a little bit, then you'll see a big change in the team. If only one or two improve, then it's probably not going to move the needle too much.
Are you a believer in you're either getting better or worse type thing too, as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, in the NFL, every week's a new week. You're playing a different team with a different scheme, with different matchups. So it doesn't really matter what happened last week. It's a whole new challenge this week with all those factors that I just mentioned. And if you don't go through the full preparation and do everything you can to have the team ready to go, then you're just giving them a better opportunity to have a better day against you than you have against them. So, once it's over, you turn the page and you move on. But preparation and focusing on the next opponent and your next opportunity is, you've got to do that quickly. You can't, sit there and bask in any of the glory or feel sorry for yourself. Like, none of that's going to help anything at all. Just recognize the mistakes, what you did well, reinforce those, move on, and start getting ready for the next game.
Man, owners coming into head coaches around the NFL going, why is Dan Orlovsky saying we need to run?
Yeah.
That's
What's going on, OC Joe?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
Yep.
That head coach is sitting in there watching film, hasn't slept in 2 days, just doing his whole thing. Owner comes in. Oh, Mr. Mrs. whatever. Oh, sure. Can I have a moment? Absolutely. This morning, Dan Orlovsky said, we're not running enough.
Better spacey.
We're not using the full.
Talk to Waldron.
I think you made a good point.
Why is Dan saying that? I would like to see us use the entire, and then them just pausing, going, fuck you, Dan Orlovsky. All right, okay, right. That is a magical thing to think. That's really happening, though, probably somewhere, is what you're saying.
Yeah, hey, Coach. McAfee said that you should have blitzed a little more on third down. I don't know. Why do you think he said that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My God. I'm so sorry to any coaches that we've ever been used as
Yeah.
Not that we have, but if that is...
Well, because you have so much credibility. You played, you've had a lot of success, you've got Deep Butt, AJ. I mean, you got other players on there, guys that have been very successful, smart, players that are experienced and have seen a lot and have done a lot. And, hey, they said you should be doing this, should be doing that. Like, what do you think? Maybe we should, huh? Maybe we should be running more trap plays like AJ said, or maybe we ought to be playing a little bit more man coverage like D Butt said. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Pac-Man said, hey, maybe we should be returning more punts, not rushing so many. Yeah, that's real.
Oh, my gosh. I am so sorry to all the coaches that we've been a part of it, but also figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey,
how do you answer that, though? How do you answer that, Coach? Like, what can you say? Other than, hey, those guys are idiots. They're on TV.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter who asked the question. The answer will be the same anyway. It would depend on whatever the question is. Why didn't we blitz as much? Well, because whatever reason, they protected a lot, or we couldn't match up to cover, or whatever the reason was. I don't know, but it would still be an honest answer. The fact that the question came from somewhere else is, you control what you can control.
Man, I couldn't even imagine.
Control the answer. You can't control the question.
Sean Payton today with this one. Hey,
why is that guy out there?
So Dan Orlovsky's a quarterback. He said that this was a thing. And then Pat McAfee, do you know he's a field goal guy? I think he was a field goal. He punted the field goals, I think. He said, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Gonna be out
Why is this guy on the game? We almost beat the Chiefs. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Sean Payton's going to have to deal with that. But hey, you're built for it, brother. Mm-hmm. And also, that can't happen. That can't be happening.
Pat, I'll be honest with you. The kind of the worst that it ever was for me, honestly, were these two questions. In Cleveland, the guy that's run the defense, like, does he really know what he's doing? Are you sure we're okay on defense? Do you think maybe, do you want to maybe call some more of those defenses? Save it. Right, just save this defense coordinator. Offensive line. I know we're not the most talented offensive line, but what about the coaching? Like, are we okay on the coaching up there? I feel like we can maybe get a little more out of these guys with the coaching. Now, that's Kirk Ferentz and Pat Hill. No, the problem is not the coaching. The problem is not the coaching.
Oh, my God.
Of all the coaches to be asked about on the staff, the O-line and the defense was Saban, Ferentz, and Pat Hill. That was mind-boggling. Oh, my God. I got to be honest. That was mind-boggling.
Imagine being a billionaire owner, too. Excuse me. Who's this little Nicholas? I think his name
Saban is his name.
He doesn't see him. Oh yeah, he'll go on to be one of the greatest of all time. The offensive line. This guy. He'll be one of the greatest of all time. What a time.